Yo, what's up? Petrowski MTG here, your local resident retro foil obsessor when it comes to Magic the Gathering. I've been getting super into, as you can see, old vintage foils in Magic the Gathering. Back when it was like one foil per pack, they were super rare, and you can still find a lot of really old foils in Magic the Gathering for super cheap. We have a huge stack today that I picked up recently, and this stack represents also a huge shift in the way that I will be collecting Magic the Gathering cards as my life has changed over the past 10 years or so. My ability to play Magic has lessened and lessened, and it's a weird thing we're gonna yap about, we're gonna ramble about today. But let's first cover where I got all these cards. Obviously, TCG player. I spent $23 on this lot of cards, and it is cut off early, does not show everything. Most of the cards I'm showing you here today are about 50 cents a piece. 50 cents a piece for old foils. Some of them worth a little bit more, some of the rares. One of them is actually a really cool promo that I want to talk about. So this is $23 plus there was another order. This order was $8. So about $30 to $31 for this big fat stack of old foils, which once again, these were so extremely rare for the time. Let's just go ahead and jump into it. And I love the way that these old white cards look when foiled, because they almost don't look like white Magic the Gathering cards. They look platinum. It's hard to get it on camera. I only got 3 white cards, honestly. Not probably my least favorite color in Magic the Gathering. They look platinum. They don't really look like white Magic cards. I do love this card. So this card is just beautiful. I love the back, like, what's it called? I guess very like matte white back with the little red moon shape and like the bird in front of it. Really beautiful card artwork wise, and a lot of these cards were picked up due to the artwork, and that's a big ramble we'll get into here. But Divine Light, I think this card actually could have some purpose, to be fair. It's a sorcery. You read this card and you're like, well, how is this card not busted? How is this card even, how has no one used this card? It's a sorcery. It's 1 white mana for a sorcery that says prevent all damage that would be dealt this turn to creatures you control. This was an instant card. It would be so good. Got a little Lord Windgrace quote far before we saw Lord Windgrace in Magic the Gathering. That's kind of cool. So those are 3 white cards that I've added to the collection, and I've added to a specific binder coming up. But onto blue cards. I know, one of my favorite colors. A lot of these cards, they're just beautiful, man. They're just, this is a rare one of the rares. Telekinetic Bonds, 2 and 3 blue. Whenever a player discards a card from his hand, you may pay 1 in blue if you do untapped. It's not that. It's really neat. It's really interesting. I love the art. It's not the most powerful card. I don't see this being used anywhere, but it's just really cool. Liquefy. We're going to mostly focus on the art, because that's actually why I bought all these cards. I went through some old sets, and I just picked out cards where I liked the art. That's it. Really simple. Really just like getting to the, I guess, an element of a way people collect things that they usually don't. How many Magic the Gathering collectors do you know that collect cards just because they like the way the card looks? I feel like the Magic the Gathering mindset, and for me it was the same for so many years. Only buy cards you intend to play, only buy cards that you can use pragmatically. It's all about pragmatic, it's all about efficiency, it's all about usability, it's all about utilitarianism. And as I get older, I just like having a binder full of pretty cards that make me happy, and it's just a cool thing to appreciate and to own. I don't do art. I'm a terrible artist. I can't do the pen to paper thing, the paintbrush to canvas. I can't do it. So when someone else can, I find it really beautiful, really admirable. And this is my favorite card of the whole. I got to put a little more time into this one. Mind Warp, my favorite card of the whole lot, man. And this is a weird one. It looks like a 6th edition foil, but those don't exist to my knowledge. This is actually an F&M promo. So here's all the printings of Mind Warp, right? It was an Ice Age, or I would love to get an Ice Age copy. Obviously there's no foils in Ice Age, but that black border, like the old school, the Ice Age logo, looks gorgeous. I would love an Ice Age copy as well, and they're super cheap, thankfully. Classic 6th edition and then 5th edition. I love white border cards, but I don't know. Maybe I'll get a collection of Mind Warp. This is one of my favorite arts. I recently discovered this. One of my favorite arts in Magic the Gathering I've ever seen. And I actually found this card because a viewer, reached out to me on Discord DMs, and they were like, hey, I personally collect a binder of Souls-like Magic art cards. And what they were saying is they basically have a binder that is all art and cards and, things that remind them of Dark Souls and all the Dark Souls franchise of the games, Elden Ring, whatever it may be, right? And I thought that was so fucking cool. And honestly, I think that person really inspired me. I don't want to just collect Magic cards pragmatically, especially nowadays. I don't have a local shop that I really mesh with anymore. Unfortunately, I moved, so I haven't really found that community. I don't really play a whole lot of Magic. I just goldfish around the house. Why not spend a little bit, you know, I don't spend a whole lot of money on myself. Might as well spend a little bit to do things that I just enjoy and purely enjoy, despite the social stigma behind it. I think often I think this comes from the maybe this just comes from the video game scene. I love people who collect sealed video games and video games that even if they don't intend to play them, but you want to appreciate them. I respect that. I don't really do it a whole lot, but I get it and I respect it. People shit on people in the video game community. Like, oh, why would you ever buy video games? You aren't going to play them, like blah, 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 blah. And to me, it's like, let people, they can do whatever they want with their money. You know, let them have fun. If it makes them happy, who cares? Right? They're not hurting anybody. And it's funny, like the direct parallel is Pokemon. Most people collecting Pokemon cards are just, they don't know how, most people collecting Pokemon cards don't know how to play the TCG. I do. I like the TCG. I don't love it. I like it. But that doesn't matter. It's totally fine to just have that connection to Pokemon and love Pokemon and want to collect for the sake of collecting. Humans have been collecting things for the sake of collecting for thousands of years, if not longer, right? Look at any jewelry. Jewelry is just collecting something to make yourself look aesthetically more pleasing. That's it. That's all it is. It's all aesthetics. It's all visuals. And there you know, there is some shallowness to that. There's also some beauty to that and appreciating what the human eye can observe. But this mind warp, anyway, back to the, okay, we're really rambling today. Back to the mind warp. This card, part about what the human eye can observe. Is this art not fucking amazing? This reminds me of like a Courage the Cowardly Dog, like Fever Dream. This artwork really connects to me. I really, it creeps me out, obviously. I really like it. I really like Mind Twist. We have some more Dust Emotes. A lot of these cards just 50 cents. Like, it's a 3-mana 2/1 flyer. This card's never really going to see play anywhere unless it's like Imp Tribal one day, but even then it probably wouldn't make the cut, you know? But it's a beautiful card. I like trying to find, the longer you engage with a hobby, I think finding ways to engage with that hobby and finding new ways to enjoy things is beautiful. This happens to me a lot with Pokemon and with shiny hunting. The longer I shiny hunt, the longer my list grows of Pokemon that I want to shiny hunt, because the more that I come to appreciate and love them. Like, I didn't really care for shiny Jigglypuff years ago. It only changes the eye. Look at all this, is like gorgeous. The only thing that changes is like the eye color of the Pokemon, right? And I thought that wasn't enough. It was boring. I didn't really vibe with it. But over years and years and years, now I've come to appreciate subtle changes like that. I think the same thing is happening for me with Magic the Gathering. I've never been an art guy. I've never cared about art, and I don't have the vocabulary. I don't have the education. If someone asked me to explain, why do you like this card, Petrowski? I could try to explain, like, there's just something in the desperation of his mouth and his voice and him being like this he's a horror, right? So he's this abomination. I don't know how he was created to be like this. I don't know if he wants to exist in this form. There's just something beautiful here, something beautifully creepy. I feel like this image tells a story, even if I don't know what that story is intuitively. It might take me a bit, I think art, like, it takes me a bit of time to really put my words into it. I'm really bad at explaining why I like a piece of art. I'm really bad and really uneducated when it comes to art. But as I'm 27 now, as I get older, I never really had the eye for art. And I'm starting to, I can't really explain it, but I find this fascinating and beautiful and gorgeous and creepy and grotesque. And I love this. And I want to own this. I want to have this. I want to give my love to the artist, you know, whoever, what was this? Adam Rex. That's a sick name. Dude's name was Adam. Bro's got 2 first names. Adam Rex. Like that's awesome. I think this is a beautiful, like, this, dude. You can't beat this. And like, I try not to be that Magic the Gathering boomer who just shits on new Magic. I think that's weak. I think it's lame. I think it's monotonous. I think it's not really productive, right? I do prefer old Magic art to new Magic, and a lot of old Magic mechanics. I prefer a lot of old Magic stuff to new Magic, but it's not always just better for the sake of it being old. Also, is that meant to be, is that a miss? It's a lowercase h instead of an uppercase H. I don't know if that's meant to be like that. Surely that's a mistake, right? I don't know if that's, anyways, like, this card is gorgeous. Havoc Demon. This card, like, it's like a mohawk thing going on. Just gorgeous, man. Gorgeous. And I have a plan. I know, like, oh, Petrowski, why would you buy all these beautiful art cards? I have a plan. And I have a goal beyond just buying them for the sake of spending money. That card's also gorgeous. You know, like, this card, this is one of those cards, man. It's really easy to skip past this and not see the double eyes up here and like the large weird oblong body and how it's rotund, and he's rotund, but he looks like he's about to chase you down. This card is beautiful. There's a lot of beautiful cards here. A lot of these cards aren't that playable, you know. Target player loses a life in game life, draw a card for 3 mana at sorcery speed. That's way too slow. I'm not buying these cards because they're playable. I'm buying them because I find them just gorgeous. Now this card's it's a 1 mana black mana dork that it's a Golgari mana dork that can filter colors. It's at least interesting. Also got like a white effect. Like this is, dude, come on. There's some beautiful. Now, a weirdly playable card. Gravedigger, I think, can still work in slower Reanimator commander decks. I think in certain graveyard commander decks, there's better cards than Gravedigger. I'll run Gravedigger a fair bit. Maybe like half my graveyard decks in commander because it's nostalgic, it's beautiful, it's fun. Such a classic. Like, Gravedigger's been around forever. 4 mana. When it comes into play, you return a target from graveyard to your hand. 4 mana for a 2/2. You can, versus other cards that just bring things back to your hand, you can use this as a sacrifice tool, or recur it multiple times, get the effect multiple times. I got a lot of red cards, a lot of red old. Look, this just straight up looks like Thanos. I know, for lack of a better comparison. I know this guy is some character in the lore. There was a giant poster of this guy at one of the first card shops that I used to go to growing up that I loved so freaking much. Missed that card shop. I don't know what his name is. I know, fake fan, fake Magic the Gathering fan. This card, like, this whole project of looking through art and appreciating old art and old foils, it really encouraged me to go through these old sets that I love. This is one of my favorite ones. Wave of Indifference. These goblins like ready to attack. Also, the flavor text here is great. Darius, yeah, there's a goblin sneaking up on you. So, just saying. Like, what what is going on there? What is that conversation, man? The fight beyond thought, beyond fear, and beyond mercy. The Keldon Berserker. Like, I've been looking through, like, this is such a unique set. This is Therese Nielsen. This is the Force of Will artist, correct? If I'm not, my memory's terrible. And I'm still learning a lot of this stuff, but that's Therese Nielsen's a classic. Like, that's beautiful. Greg Staples, I really like this one. I do think this is one of the few examples where I think this one looked better on a Google search versus in person. You don't see as much of the explosion on the bridge here in the foiling, unfortunately, but that's okay. Still a beautiful card, still beautiful art. Bishino Grappler, a lot of these cards, once again, but look at this. Like, it's a cool new way. If you're kind of looking for a new way to explore Magic the Gathering, just go through some of the old sets. Or new sets. I don't just whatever. Maybe you like sloths. I know this guy's not named a sloth, but like maybe you like sloths. You want to own all the sloth cards. We collect Magic the Gathering cards in a way that no other card game does, which is kind of beautiful in its own right. But like, I would like to encourage the other elements of other card games to also be incorporated. Like, Pokemon collectors will collect all Slackoffs. They'll fall in love with Slackoff. They'll fall in love with, for me, Shuckle, Stunfist, and they'll collect all those cards. I don't really collect Pokemon cards. But why can't we collect Magic the Gathering cards a little bit in the same way? Why can't we encourage? I don't see enough people buying cards just because they like this is so sick, dude. Just because they like old foils and like the art, and you can do it for cheap. People talk about, and there's valid complaints, obviously. I keep bumping the microphone, a little bit of webcam abuse. Anyways, this is my girlfriend liked this one, or my wife. Sorry, excuse me, my wife. My wife loved this art. This one's really cool. Like, just beautiful cards. This one's the only, now I only got one colorless card and one multicolor card, and here they are, but they're really cool. This one's, it's not really useful, but it's so, I love when they do these like red sandy landscapes with almost like people like being like incinerated in the background there. They do this a fair bit on some older cards, but my point of this video, I would love to see people collect Magic the Gathering cards in their own way. With their own personality in mind, whatever they want to do, regardless of what the pressures of the Magic community make you feel like you need to do sometimes. I think it's a really beautiful thing to encourage. We see it in other card game communities. I don't think we see it enough in Magic the Gathering. Not that everybody needs to do this. That's ridiculous, right? But obviously the whole point is collect how you want to collect. That's, I'm not trying to knock any one way of collecting. It's more so just do whatever you want. And I've been loving buying old foils, man. I'm super into it. This one's my favorite once again. The F is an F&M promo. I think most people wouldn't know that without, like, I've learned so many things. I've learned so many things about Magic via this project. Via doing I started the posting ones like sick Magic art every single day. And that project has really been a way for me to explore a lot of Magic arts, learn about them, appreciate them, and just love the game all over again in a whole new way. There are so many ways to appreciate art, media, games, everything. You don't always need to engage with it in the most stereotypical, most thrown at you way. I think it's beautiful to take it. That's why we have things like Nuzlocke in Pokemon, things like no-hit challenges in Dark Souls, like all these challenge runs that we're seeing in video games these days. This is born from a evolution of people exploring and engaging with that media in however they want to, and that's darn beautiful if you ask me. So there are the new foil cards I'll be adding to my collection, and I have a plan. I bought a binder, and I'll do a whole video showing off the beginning of that collection and that plan very, very soon. I hope you guys found this ramble fun, enjoyable. And if you have any suggestions on old foils, oh my wallet's gonna ache, but thankfully, you know, if they're, I want to keep them cheap if possible. This is meant to be a cheap thing, a cheap collection, not like for the sake of flexing the dollar amount. You know, this whole stack, once again, it's $30, $31, $32. So have any suggestions of old foils, let me know. I like the idea of expanding into just old beautiful cards as well, and not just foils. This was just a foil section so far, and I have some other cards that I will be purchasing that are not only foil, or not even have foil variants. So I'll see you guys soon with that. Like the video if you enjoyed it. It helps me out tremendously. We're so close to 1,000 subscribers. If you want to support, show some love, I would love to hit 1,000 subscribers on this channel. That would be fantastic. That'd be amazing. It'd be surreal. Thank you for watching. Have a great day. Leave comments, leave feedback, call me stinky in the comments. I'll see you guys later. But for now, peace, Reno.